Okay. Okay, thank you. Hi. I just came out to speak to you from the meeting of the Security Council. This is the monthly debate about the situation in the Middle East and the question of Palestine. And I just finished, as you maybe saw on the screen, my statement, my speech. I gave the Israeli perspective, which we think is the real problems and the broader aspects of the situation in the Middle East, namely the dangers from terrorist organization, Hamas to our north, to our south, Hezbollah to our north. The event 2 days ago in Tyre Filsi, which was also shown on television in Lebanon and over the screens, indicated and demonstrated what we have been saying for a long time in letters, complaints, that the terrorists, both Hezbollah and Hamas, are embedding themselves within civilian population. This was also shown on the 16th of July in the event in Khirbat Selim, when a weapons depot exploded. 2 days ago, the same thing happened in a civilian home in the middle of a village where the Hezbollah depot was also exploded. I mentioned all the dangers from these terrorist organizations which keep shelling and bombing Israeli civilians. I also mentioned the great threat to Israel and to the world, not only to the Middle East, not only to Israel, but to the world, which is the Iranian enrichment program, which also was shown in Qom, in the program that is being, the uranium that is being enriched over there. And then I had to come out and speak to you. I'm going to take a few questions.
Ambassador, we obviously have the Security Council debate today, which you commented on. We have action coming up in the Human Rights Council, and also a plan possibly to take this issue, the Goldstone issue, to the UN General Assembly. How definitive can you be, in addition to what you said in there, that while this campaign is being pursued, that the resumption of peace talks are not going to happen?
You are so right. This Goldstone report is an obstacle to the peace process. We are not and we cannot resume the peace process as long as this is on the table, as long as we are accused of these terrible accusations of war crimes, which we completely deny because we have been investigating and looking into many events. 23 files are still being investigated. But let me mention, on purpose, I did not mention the Goldstone report because this has not been part of the agenda of the UN Security Council. Let me remind you that the meeting today was rescheduled as a result of some kind of a compromise on the initiative of Libya, this great champion of human rights who is now accusing us of infringing human rights. Libya asked to have a special session of the Security Council. That was a kind of a compromise. We do not think that the Goldstone report should be discussed in the Security Council, not here. This is not the right time, this is not the right place, and therefore I'm not going to go into the details, but thank you for your important question.
Thank you. Ambassador, the Goldstone report was actually prepared by the UN Human Rights Commission, not by Libya. If you can elaborate on that, and you talked about how dangerous the terrorist organization Hamas is, but the Goldstone report is kind of different than what Hamas is doing. Goldstone report, in fact, is accusing Hamas of war crimes.
Yeah, but the Goldstone report puts us and Hamas on the same level, and this is something that we are not going to accept. We are a sovereign country. The Gaza operation was part of our implementing and using our right of self-defense. But once you asked, I'm not going to go into the details, but let me say that we reject the Goldstone report. It's one-sided, it's biased, as was the mandate that established it, as is the Human Rights Council. But this is something that will be discussed over there, and we trust that like-minded states and countries and representatives and human rights champions will be able to move this forward and see our part and our side of what was really happening at the Gaza operation, the CAS-led operation, when we implemented our right, the right of every sovereign country to defend its citizens.
Thank you. Ambassador Shalev, you mentioned Iran. Are you satisfied with the progress of the talks? And if there's not enough transparency on October 25th, do you think what's next?
Well, we are not going to conduct or to give advice to our allies, but we know that there must be a deadline because as we talk, uranium is being enriched in Qom, in other places, and we really think that this is a great danger to the whole world, and Iran must be stopped. Either by engagement, later on maybe if it doesn't work out by sanctions, and we make everybody. I hope we are not going to get even to consider this